Hi everyone, I'm John, and welcome back to Puzzle Me This. This is part 10, so it is the 9th month update on the 42,000 piece Around the World Jigsaw Puzzle. First off, I want to thank everyone for the well wishes for my motorcycle trip. My brother-in-law and I went, and we covered 4,836 miles on the bikes, 7,782 kilometers. We went to Montana from Pennsylvania, went down Beartooth Pass into Yellowstone National Park and saw things there. Spent a night in Cody, Wyoming, went through Wind River Canyon, down into Colorado, below Denver, went through Garden of the Gods and up Pikes Peak, and then came back out across Kansas and Missouri. We went out through Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Montana. So we had a great time. I have a lot to cover in this video, and I have a more technical piece-shape part, and Mom said to put that at the end because most people just want to see what we've done. So I'll put that at the end. And just last night, I figured something else out, I think. So I'll have a second part to the more technical part at the end. There are a couple people I do want to mention that left comments, and the reason I'm mentioning them is because they're doing the puzzle mostly by piece shape, and hopefully when we get to the technical part, maybe they'll have something that they can add in the comments that will help other people out that are doing this puzzle or puzzles with patterns in them. Mayarton Storms 3262 is doing mixed all the bags together, and they're doing the puzzle by shape, sorting all 42,000 pieces by shape. And they have been putting together the 2 half pieces and 2 bigger pieces, one on each side of the half pieces. And there should be 42 of those groups of pieces, one for each section of the puzzle, each shape section. Dad wanted to do that at the beginning when we started, and I was sorting by color, so I said, let's just put all those pieces with the colors. But I think now maybe that would have been a better way to go. So Dad has been going through the cardboards and picking out the half pieces and the double pieces, we call them. And we have them on a separate cardboard now, the ones that we found. And now, Mayarton Storms doesn't have YouTube channel, but they do have and are posting pictures on Flickr. Cyberfox 5159 mixed the puzzle together, and they have 14 cardboards, and they store them under their couch. And it's been a 3-year project so far. They just work on it off and on, and they store it under the couch when they're not working on it. Pennywise 1974 also has it mixed together, and they're putting it together by shape. And Calabante, I apologize if I'm saying these names wrong. Calabante has it mixed together, and on 10 different foam boards. And depending on which building or mountain or part they're working on, they shuffle the cardboards around so that they can work on that specific part. And they're all doing this mixed together and on cardboards that are smaller. And that, I think, adds a whole level of difficulty to it, not being able to just walk to one end or the other and put pieces in. They have to shuffle cardboards all the time. And I do want to mention someone else, Crazy Puzzle Chick. Now, she has a YouTube channel. She's just learning video and how to put stuff on YouTube. So she has a 1-minute video with no sound, but she is working on the 60,000 piece dowel puzzle. And she did 3 bags, and I guess that was easy enough for her. So she opened the other 57 bags and put all the continent yellow pieces in one tub and everything else in another tub. So in this short 1-minute video she has so far, it shows a little bit of border that she has together and the 2 tubs of 57,000 pieces. So I don't know how often she's planning on posting, but if you look up Crazy Puzzle Chick on YouTube, you should be able to find her. I did ask her in the comments if she saw Judy's Addicted to Puzzles series on that puzzle. And she said she had. That she had watched that, so she knows what she's getting into there. So many little people just all over that puzzle. That's going to be a hard one to mix up like that and put together. So I'm looking forward to her progress on that. Okay, as far as this puzzle, we are at 1,839 hours. Total hours worked on this puzzle. So I don't have too many cardboards to show you. A lot of what we've done lately has attached to something else that's on the table. So we just build on to that. We do have a couple cardboards I'll show you, and then I'll show you what's on the table, and then I'll show you the technical parts. I want to take a second and show you my shirt. If you recognize a lot of the bands on here, you probably grew up okay and turned out all right. Kids today, I think the reason they have so many problems and troubles can be blamed on the fact that their music sucks. Now, Dad likes 50s music, and he says that about my music too that I listen to, so maybe it's a generational thing. But I hope you can see that, I don't know. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled program. Okay, let me show you the cardboards that we have. This is the Blue Mosque from Istanbul. These are puzzle pieces from the sky, according to which row they are in. I talk more about that in the technical part coming up. These are the pieces that are kind of unaccounted for yet. They're assorted according to shape. Once I get the sky more complete, I'll have a lot more empty cardboards. I only have a few there now. These are my section edge pieces with the little tabs and little prongs that come in and out. Let me show you the book also. If you don't see your name in here, let me know. I think I have everybody, but I may have missed someone, but I think I got them all. I don't think I missed any of yous. Okay. That was all your guesses for the completion date of the puzzle. Okay, and then on this side, we have the base of the Christ the Redeemer statue. We have a little bit of the sign here that's green, and that will go in this piece once we get it. And that'll fill in a lot of that area there. We also have this green that comes off of here, and a lot of pieces of that to put together. That is Machu Picchu in Peru. And then we have some balloons, balloon pieces, and the kite. And this is the Beatine Palace Fountain in Lebanon. We have some pieces of that together. This one has some pieces, some shapes, and patterns together. And we have a window here and some more shapes together. And this, all of these pieces, I think most of them anyway, will go right on top of here. And that is Petra in Jordan. So we have those to go in. And all the rest of the cardboards, I believe, are about the same. We've been picking through them to get pieces on the table. And a lot of the signs and all of them are the same. So let me show you what's on the table. You can see down at that end, I have more sky done. We'll get to that. I'll start up here at this end. This is Mount Fuji, and I've been slowly finding purple pieces that I can put in there. Building pieces are a little different at the top and the bottom, it seems like. And they're hard to pick out with the building. And I've got a lot of towers in the sky that just don't quite connect to the buildings. But this one's getting close. This is the Oriental Pearl Tower in Shanghai, and it is connected. There is another couple red circles that fit down in here, and we have them over on the cardboards, but they have a whitish tower connecting them, and that's hard to find. We still have a lot of pieces here in the middle in just these couple sections that need switched around. Mom and I did switch a few of them around, and that helped, but we still have a lot to go. This is part of the Blue Mosque here. Soyuz rocket, I find a piece of that every once in a while. The balloons, we have two little balloons in now. This one and the bigger one here. I have a couple pieces yet that I need that have just a little bit of the balloon on. And I did find the two pieces of this clock on the side that I needed. So I have a cardboard that says miscellaneous on it. And it's about half full of pieces I just didn't know where to put. And I found one on there and wondered if the other one was on there, and it was. I have been doing a little more orange sky on both sides here and getting that filled in a little. The Freedom Tower here is connected. This piece isn't right, but it is the right shape, so I put that in there just to keep that connected. The Empire State Building here is, of course, connected to the Freedom Tower, and that's getting close to being connected. And the Willis Tower in Chicago, that is connected just off to the side here, but not the actual tower coming up with the two antennas on top. I have to get them connected yet. And the Aurora Borealis I pretty much have done. That comes from that end and comes all the way over to here, pretty far. I do have a lot of this mountain top, the skyline, done through there. On this side, we have this bubble that has a city in it with buildings that are kind of arched. And we're slowly finding a piece for that every once in a while. The Harley, we're getting together slowly. Mom's been working on the cactuses down here at the bottom. And the Washington Monument. Once in a while we'll find a piece for that. I did switch a couple pieces around that the colors didn't look right. So I switched them around and it looks better. A cab, we find pieces for sometimes. The jukebox, I think Mom did most of that. This is the base for the Statue of Liberty. And it'll connect in there eventually. Now, Shauna was working on the Statue of Liberty, and she did get some of the face and crown done, but she noticed she had a whole lot of extra pieces of that greenish blue color. And she started putting them together and realized it was a whole nother statue. And it's down here, and it's the Freedom Monument in Riga, R-I-G-A. I've never heard of it. But that's where that is. So we've got some of that done now. We are getting some more of these pattern pieces filled in. This is the Arc de Triomphe. I know I'm not saying that right. That's as close as I can get to speaking French, though. That's in Paris. And Mom has been working on the Parthenon here in Athens. I worked on this part a couple months ago and got a good many of the pillars partly done. And Mom's been working on this roof here, and that really looks nice. A little bit here of this bus. There's a bus that goes in there. This Russian bear goes in between here. Someone in the comments told me that the Russian bear wasn't right in the middle. And they were right, and I looked at it and thought, well, there's a couple pieces that I could turn upside down. So I took it apart, and now I can't get it back together again. So I don't know how I was thinking it was going to go. We got some water here and a table that sits on the bridge. The tribal masks, we're starting to get some of them as we see the pieces. This is part of the fountain for the Taj Mahal. That's actually a reflection in the water. This is the Hawa Maha. I know I'm not saying that right either. In India. And we are finding more and more pieces of that. The Indian tiger down here, slowly we're getting that. And the Ming vase. The gold car over here. The gold car is in Shanghai. We've got the grill of it in a wheel so far. And the Osaka Castle in Japan. There was a lot of roof lines there, and we finally got them together right. So that fills in pretty good there. The beach hut in Australia, slowly getting more of that. And some of the Great Barrier Reef in this corner. Now, it doesn't say Great Barrier Reef in the book. I'm just assuming that's what it is. It says Great White Shark. And there is a shark down here in this corner. You can't really see it yet. We don't have too much of it, I guess. And, oh, the Mao Zedong Memorial Hall in Beijing. We're slowly getting more reds filled in there also. So, okay, that's what is on the table. Now let's get into the technical part. I want to start by saying, and someone tell me if I'm wrong, I think bag 1, 2, and 3 have different piece cuts than bags 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, I stopped right here with the light colored blue pieces on this joint right here. This is the joint between bags 3 over here and bag 4 over here. And this was already together, most of it, and I wanted to put it in the sky, so I kind of stopped right here because this is where it gets darker going down this way. And I noticed that it was a good thing I stopped there, because from this bag 4 on down, the pieces along the border here, the tabs are in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, all the way down through. Except, of course, where the joints are between the sections. There's 2 sections for each bag going across. So where the joints are, it could be different. And there's 37 pieces in a section. So the 35 pieces that are in between are the same for bag 4, 5, 6, and 7. Like I said, these are in, out, every other one. If you come down here, they're not like that. Bags 1, 2, and 3, you can have two ins or 2 outs together on down for bags 1, 2, and 3. So I just happened to stop there at the right place, I think, because I think the cuts are different. Now, what I've been doing sometimes, and sometimes I don't, sometimes I just go through and put the shapes of the sky in according to shape, because I have the skies separated according to shape. And if you notice on Russell's videos sometimes on Puzzling in 2 Worlds, if he's doing a big puzzle that has sections, you'll notice a pen or pencil on his puzzle. And that points to the puzzle piece shape that he's looking for. And then he'll look for that piece and put it in, and then he'll move the pencil over one, and he'll look for that shape and put it in. And he does that one at a time. What I've been doing is, there is, going across now, there's 2 sections, 2 puzzle cut sections per bag. And there's 7 bags going across. So for sections, for bags 1, 2, and 3, there will be 6 pieces that are the same. So what I've been doing is, I take a whole row out. These are 35 pieces here, and I put them on a cardboard, this top row here, going across. They don't all quite fit. They go across here then, and those are the pieces that will fit in here. Now I should have 6 of each piece. Now sometimes I have more. This particular piece right here, I have 8 of them, which means I have 1 for each section in that row, plus I have 2 more that probably go in the middle section. It repeats across and it repeats 3 times down. The sections do. So I go through and I look for 6 pieces, well, 5 pieces. I have the 1. I look for 5 pieces. Now, I don't always find 5 pieces because sometimes there will be a bird or a plane or the top of a tower or a mountain that comes up into the sky. And I won't have as many of them pieces. You know, like some of these, I only found 3 of them. I have 3, so that means there's 3 of these sections here that I won't have that piece to put in. And it could be anything. Like right here, I'm missing a section. I couldn't find any of these pieces. And it's just by the Eiffel Tower here. So that balloon, that blimp, is what will go in this space right here. And I did see a cardboard over there that has a couple pieces of that red and white and blue. So I need to look for that, and then I can put it in here. But it's not as easy as you would think it would be, because if, say, I'm doing row 3 and I'm missing a bunch, and then I get some from row 4, I don't have anything to connect them to. So them pieces just kind of end up floating around. And I tend, when I go through then and put these together according to, like those 2 will probably go together, and then this one is probably in that row, but I'm missing one in between. And that's how I get a lot of pieces that are off color. That just, you know, you'll notice in the puzzle there's a lot of pieces and whole sections. This whole section right here goes someplace else probably. Or this section does. But I think that bird's right, so that's the color I have to end up with. Doing it this way kind of seems like just a systematic way of doing it. It's not as fun as going through and building a building or a bus or something like that. It just seems like a systematic way of doing it. And I have a safe, a combination safe, and I lost the combination to it. And it's a century safe, and they have special numbers on each one that you can send those numbers in and a check, I think, for $65 or so, and they'll send you your combination. And I did that, and they sent a letter back with my check telling me that my safe was too old. They didn't still have the combination for it. So I knew what the last number of the 3 was. So I started with 0, 1, and the last number, 0, 2, and the last number, 0, 3, and the last number. And I just did it systematically until the safe opened. And it wasn't as much fun, but it got the result that I wanted. And doing it this way, according to the shape, and then just picking out 5 or 6 of the sky pieces, kind of feels like doing that again. But the sky is so hard to do that I don't mind doing this sometimes. Okay, this is what it looks like after I assemble all the pieces that I picked out. This row across here is this row that was in here. And I picked out as many piece shapes as I could of each of them. And they are now put together. So each one of these rows, or each section of pieces, will go together in the 7th row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they'll go in the 7th row on down through here. And you can tell by how close those blue colors are why I have so much trouble with getting the colors to match. These colors up here are different colors, and there are 3 sections, the bottom, middle, and top. There are 3 puzzle cut sections. So some of those pieces probably go in the middle section, or maybe even the first section, and I just assumed they were sky colors, and that's how come I have them in here. But that's what it looks like once I get it assembled. And then I'll put this row back in over here, and then I can take the next row out here and do the same thing again and look for, hopefully find 5 pieces of each of those shapes. Okay, this is part 2 of the technical part. Just last night, I was doing row 10 here, like I explained earlier, and I found a couple pieces of these 2, but I went through 4 or 5 pieces that I didn't find anything for, and I couldn't understand it. I only have 6 cardboards of sky pieces left, and they're not real full, as you can see there. And when I was doing down at that end, I didn't really start going by rows too much until row 10. So what I did was I put all the extra pieces that didn't fit down there in the puzzle that were on row 10, I put them on a piece of paper so that I had all the rows separated. So I knew at least which row these pieces would go in. And I couldn't find them, and I thought, well, I have all these pieces, maybe somehow they'll go in. So I looked at these, and this here one is row 18 from down at that end of the table. That row 18 is starting from the top of the puzzle and going down. So I looked at them, and they didn't fit quite right. But then I took and turned it around. And now row 18 matches these pieces. So what I'm thinking is happening is those 4 bags on that end, and these 3 bags are the same cut. They just rotated these 3 bags 180 degrees. Now this is where those people that I mentioned at the beginning of the video come in. Have they noticed this? Because these 4 bags, the row next to the border is in, out, in, out, in, out. And up here, you can have, for these 3 bags, you can have 2 ins together or 2 outs together. And I noticed down here, these first 3 sections, it is every other piece, in, out, in, out, in, out, just like it is up there on that end. And then once you get to bag 4, which is right here, bag 4 starts, then you can have two pieces in and out together. Like here, and you can have 2 ins, 2 outs. So people that are doing the puzzle by shape, let me know if that's what you found. Donna Louise is doing this puzzle, and I think she has 2 bags done so far, and she's probably working on the 3rd now. So maybe when she gets to the 4th one, she'll let us know if that's what she found. And if you have the 24,000 piece life puzzle. I know Judy from Addicted to Puzzles has that puzzle hanging on her living room wall. A lot of people that do that puzzle hang it up, and it is a beautiful, bright colored puzzle. I'm thinking maybe the 4 bags that puzzle comes in is maybe the 4 sections at this end that are all the same. And then when they added these 3 bags to make a 42,000 piece puzzle, they rotated them 180 degrees. Just these 3 bags. Unless the 24,000 piece puzzle has 2 one way and then 2 rotated 180 degrees. I don't know. But we'll figure all this out as we go. So that's where we are this month. I try to keep my videos about 20 minutes, and I think this one's going to be a lot longer than that. Hopefully I can edit it as short as I can and have it make sense. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch. And until next time, go put your puzzle together.